Hey, what's up guys, Spidey here, and today I got my reviews for comic books that I got this week. So I got New Avengers and the Trinity War from 2 weeks ago that I just got. So we'll do these ones first, and we'll talk about this week later. So I'll start off with New Avengers. This was so good. Oh, worth the wait. I forget, crap, what was the tribal... What was it called? I'm sorry, I really can't remember, but we started off with some continuation from the last, story, or last issue, and we see something that we have not seen in the issues, and that's that the tribal is dead. The tribal, something tribal, I know it's some tribal something. It was something tribal, my bad, but doesn't matter. You know what I'm talking about. And then we get, this thing where Black Bolt speaks. How Maximus the Mad, Maximus, whatever you want to call him, has made a portal, and he can go into this dimension where he speaks. I'm sorry if this isn't correct. There are some gaps that I don't know because I haven't been reading the series. I've read it at the first 3 issues, and it's on issue 8, so I'm missing 5 issues. So I'm sorry if there's some gaps, but anyways. We get to see Medusa in this new costume, which, to be honest, I think that's a really cool new costume. That is an awesome new costume. And the really reason why this was so good was the ending with Black Panther and Namor. Since it's 2 weeks old, I guess I'll spoil it. Black Panther reigns like his destruction on Atlantis, and we all know why Namor destroyed Wakanda in Age of Ultron, AVX, and then at the end the invasion happens. This was great. I have to give this a 4.3 out of 5. I loved almost every second of it. Only problem I really have with it is that there's a few gaps, that I don't really know because I've been reading the series, but I'm sure if I did know what those were, this could be a perfect 5 out of 5 issue. But the artwork is the highlight here for me. That's the highlight for me, is the artwork. Now onto something that's not so good, the Trinity War. First of all, I just gotta say this. What the hell, DC? Why would you spoil your ending? You spoiled it before where you said, all the superheroes will be gone. Now you spoiled it even more. And I'll get into that in a second, but I remember the first issue I said, this was not the greatest first issue for an event, but I hope and I feel, and I'm pretty sure, it's one of those words, and in my head though, I was pretty hopeful that the Trinity War would turn out to be a good event. I thought, it'll get better from there. I know I wasn't expecting a great first issue. I mean, there was no build-up, there was no preludes, there was no nothing, so hopefully I was expecting a great second issue, and I just didn't get that, and I didn't get a great third issue either. So we're halfway through, and I still have my same thoughts that I did at the first issue. It hasn't gotten any better. But anyways, I said the Trinity War could be something good. It could turn into something good. At issue 1 now, I've lost hope because we're in issue 3 and we still haven't gotten anything good. But anyways, Jeff Johns has spoiled the thing that could have made this event good. It could have at least made me forgiven the fact that this event was bad, because he said that what's going to be happening is when the superheroes are gone, the villains are going to have to go against the crime syndicate with Owlman, Johnny Quick, all those characters. That would have been awesome. That could have been DC's big break from me right there, and I would have been happy with that. I thought that could have been great if that happened. The villains versus the crime syndicate. How cool would that be? And it would be cool. I mean, I think it could still be cool, but I think that is something that has to be for the twist. You have to just throw the crime syndicate in there and have the fans be like, whoa. But unfortunately DC cocked that up, and it's kind of hilarious. They won. The thing that You know, I pick apart every single DC thing, right? Well, I don't pick apart, but I don't like the Trinity. Why I really don't like it. But the one thing that could have been the saving grace for your event, you wrecked it. That upsets me as a reader. And not only you should feel ashamed of yourself too for giving away, you freaking idiots. No, but with all respect to Jeff Johns, I do love the guy, but I guess he just got a little excited and he couldn't control himself. He had to let it out. But anyways, onto this issue. This is nothing special. Nothing special. The art actually is pretty good. I'll give it that. I like the art. But other than that, I mean, the way it opens up, it's almost a joke. Where they're operating on Dr. Light, Phantom Stranger shows up. Since there's no build-up, they don't know who Phantom Stranger is. They could have done build-up where they said, oh, this is Phantom Stranger, this is the Justice League, they know each other. They could have done a meeting with all that and a prelude or whatever. But then, since they didn't decide to do that, this is what we get. Oh, he shows up. Who is this guy? Oh, Sartana, my dad trusted him, yeah. Okay, well, we trust him. He just broke into a top-secret military facility, and then you just got a bunch of nonsense. Nonsense with the Wonder Woman fighting this group of Justice League. It just is stupid, man. It's ridiculous. And then you have them trying to free Superman. It just doesn't make sense. It's just too much things are going on. They have put too many subplots and all that together in one comic book. It just feels too like it's too much. There's too much going on. It doesn't feel like a story. Like this here, this was enjoyable, and it takes it very mature, but it doesn't have all this stuff going on so much. It goes from 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's the way this comic works. That's not how all comics work. Like, for instance, some comic books, you know, they work. They have some things going. They have some things going on, some other things. This one just feels like here's this thing, back to this thing, here's this new thing, back to this thing. And oh, this is the different thing too. Like, it just feels like there's too much stuff going on. I don't like it. There's too much going on. So I'm gonna stop rambling about this. I'm getting to some other comic books that came out this week, but this gets a very low grade for me, a 2.5 out of 5. I can't quite say it's awful. It's low grade, but I can't say it's quite there at being awful. It's fair because of the artwork. I'm telling you, the artwork's good, but a 2.5 out of 5 is pretty bad for an event. Yep, ever since issue 1 though, it stayed in the 2s. So there's my rant on Trinity. Get into some comics this week. Let's talk about the Green Lantern number 23 as well, my DC rant. As we're here, we'll get on the DC rant. Now, I remember, I wasn't doing YouTube when the first story came out for Green Lantern, but the first story of Green Lantern, I remember reading that and saying, wow, this was fantastic. Because it was absolutely fantastic. The first story arc of Green Lantern for the New 52 was amazing. Jeff Johns, the home run issues, man. That was a great first story. I loved it. Now I can't quite say the same. 1, it's a different writer. 2, well, it's a different writer, and Jeff Johns sort of lost his momentum near the end. The last issue was pretty good, but you know, what can you do? The art's good. I really like Billy Tan's art. He's MVP for this series. He's the only reason why I'm picking this series up still, is because of the art. I love the artwork. But this new writing team, I don't think they haven't found their stride yet. They haven't found what they want to do. They haven't done anything really. They haven't really hit a really strong story arc. I don't even feel like they've done that. I mean, they had the Love Fleece invasion, and then they had this prisoner save, and this is very cliche comic book right here. I'm sorry for those of you who like it. If you like it, you like it, but for me, 1, I just found it too boring for me to get into the story, and 2, I feel like I've seen this a million times before, where a prisoner breaks out, and the hero has to go try and get him, and then the prisoner gets away. This girl here is the prisoner of Oa. I feel like I've seen it too many times. Feels very cliche. Well, this comic book like this feels a little different, you know? That's This feels different. I like that. It's something new. This one is very, but like I said, very boring and a very generic story. So that's why I'm giving this a 1.8 out of 5. Unfortunately. And for those of you who say, you know, oh, Marvel fanboy, oh yeah, you're just saying that because you're a Marvel fanboy. Well, listen here. I am a Marvel fanboy. I prefer Marvel over DC, but listen here right now. If you think that, 1, I just said the old Green Lantern story arc was fantastic. 2, the only reason why I'm still buying any of the DC titles is because I want them to be good, and I really want to be here on my YouTube channel saying this was great, and that time will hopefully come. Hopefully. But as of now, it's not good. But like I said, when they do get good, I will say that they're good. I'm not being biased towards Marvel or anything like that. Speaking of DC, Swamp Thing. Now, I'm not going to do a rant on this because I actually like this. This is, in my opinion, the best comic book that DC has going for them. This is the saving grace, for me at least, for DC. This makes me think that we have hope, because maybe if Green Lantern had a bit of more of what's going on here, there. Like, I'm not saying this is the best thing ever. This is not the greatest comic book ever, but it's still the best thing DC has, and I still liked it quite a bit. The problem is that they have this really great idea with the whiskey tree and how the whiskey makes them almost like zombie characters, and the art's great, and Constantine's involved, and Swamp. You know, the only problem with it is it was only 2 issues, and I feel that a story like this with this good of an idea really could have deserved a 5-part, 6-part story arc. It really needed some more time to develop, but this was still good nonetheless. I still liked it. I love the art. I'm a fan of Swamp Thing. Like I said, it's the best thing DC has going, and you know, last issue was great. This issue I think was good, and I did like it. It gets a 4 out of 5 for me, so not a bad issue. I recommend picking it up if you're a fan of Swamp Thing and Constantine. You know. So there you go. I'm not biased towards Marvel. I'm not. You know what I'm saying. Hunger, number 2. Okay, I am on board. I'm adding this to my pull list. Issue 1 I liked. This one I loved. Oh my goodness. You have the same sort of greatness that the first issue had, but then you throw in more Galactus and the Silver Surfer, and it just becomes an amazing issue. The art is great. This writing is great. I love this. I'm going to read this again, actually. You know, I love the way Galactus is drawn. I love the battle. You know, I'm reading this again right after this video, and I'm also reading Comic of the Week, which you probably know what it is, guessing on who I am. But absolutely great. This definitely deserves a second read from me, so that's why I'm giving this a 4.5 out of 5. I'm on board. I'm supporting this. I'm behind it. Whatever you want to say. This is going to be a great series. Now for the Comic of the Week, you know what it is. Ultimate Spider-Man. Now, Marvel comic books are always upset. They drive me crazy. They have like these really chintzy, cheap covers, and I don't know, my fingers always stick to them and they leave fingerprints. So what I did this time is I tried to restore it. I know it doesn't look that great, but trust me, it looks way better than what it was before. I don't know why I had to point that out. You probably wouldn't have even noticed it if I didn't point that out. But anyways, this was a whole bunch of greatness. I loved the return of the Tinkerer. We get to see him again. We get to see an awesome battle with the Hobgoblin. People are starting to notice, you know, something's wrong with Superior Spider-Man. So this is interesting. We get to see Doc Ock saying, "What if I just become Spider-Man? What if I just devote my whole life to Spider-Man and not my Peter Parker?" And it's just a great issue. And what he does at the end, Peter Parker would never do. So that's why I'm giving this a 4.8 out of 5. This was tremendous. This was tremendous as well. This was alright. This was crap. This was great. And this was crap. So anyways, guys, see you next time. Peace. Okay.